All right, hello, my name is Jenna Braceman, and this is my client presentation. So, my first client was Sarthik Katka, and his interests and hobbies included playing guitar, playing soccer, and then he talked a lot about mixed martial arts. Um, Overall experience has been great. Not only did he want to work on his physical state, but as well as his mental state. And having someone to support him through this exercise has been beneficial to him. It's awesome to hear throughout our workouts that he has felt like he's gotten stronger, although he may not see the results as much, but he definitely feels as if he's been able to lift more than he could. So some background information, his height is 68 inches, his weight is 165 pounds, giving him a body mass index of 25.1, and that is classified as overweight. We've got his resting blood pressure, which is 120/65, and his resting heart rate is at 80, so both in those normal ranges. So some goals that we discussed were that he would love to lose 5 to 10 pounds by the end of the semester. Other goals, working on core strength and learning new exercises for both the upper body and lower, mainly working on lower body, just because he does not work necessarily on the lower body. So to achieve these goals, he's worked out twice a week. On Mondays, we'll usually do upper body, and then on Thursday or Friday, whatever usually works with his schedule, is when we will work on his lower body and abs. So during his baseline fitness assessment, we chose to do the Rockport walk test, and so I chose this just because, we had some technical difficulties communicating with each other, and it was just easy to get done as soon as we could because the deadline, it was a kind of a simple test, for him to be able to do on his own, as well as, with COVID and everything not being as conditioned as he'd wanted to be. So his results came out to be 43.3680, which is classified as being average. Then we moved on to his muscular endurance, so we chose the YMCA bench press, and curl-ups were chosen just because my client knew these exercises well and he stated that he enjoyed them. So for the bench press, his results were 23, which classified him as very good, and then his curl-ups he did 20, which is also classified as good. Then we moved on to muscular strength, and we did the 1-rep leg press. We use this just because, again, the client doesn't work on that lower body, and this is just a good way to start off, easy, safe machine to figure out that 1-rep max. So results were 1.53, which classified as well below average. And then we went on to flexibility, which was the sit and reach test. This was just a quick and easy way, to check flexibility, and at the time the equipment was available. So his results were 23 centimeters, which classified him in the 30th percentile. So for the 1-week training program, with him wanting to work on muscular strength and resistance training, it's the ACSM recommended guidelines is to train each major muscle group 2 to 3 days per week with at least a 48-hour separating the exercise training session for the same muscle group is recommended for adults. His intensity, about 60 to 70%, 1-rep max for the intermediate exercise to improve strength. There's no specific duration of training that has been identified for effectiveness. So then we used a variety of exercise equipment used to perform these exercises. So Mondays would consist of working on the back and bicep muscles. Then you got your Tuesday rest day. Wednesday is working on lower body exercises as well as abdominal exercises. Thursday, we move on to rest day, and then Friday is ending with your triceps, chest, and shoulders. And then Saturday, Sunday, your rest days. So that is the 3 days per week. As of right now, Sarthik and I only train 2 days per week. So if we could plan to shift to those 3 days per week to improve his muscular fitness, that would be awesome. As well as I feel like he could shift up to 80% 1 rep max intensity to also improve that strength. So moving on to my next client was Jersey Schrader. So her interests and hobbies included tennis, spending time with family and friends, listening to music, any variety, and watching stand-up comedy. Overall experience has been good. I've definitely noticed her become more confident when learning new exercises, and she's slowly becoming stronger. I know she stated that she understands that to see these changes, she needs to also change her eating habits just to help maintain and replenish her body to just improve those strength muscles. So some background, she is 64.3 inches for her height. Her weight is 150 pounds, which gives her a body mass index of 25.7, and this is classified as overweight. Her resting blood pressure is 120/60, and her resting heart rate is 72, both in the normal range. So when we discussed some goals, one being the main goal, getting into a routine for that strengthening full body using weights and machines, which she would much rather prefer to do using weights and the machines. Other goals, working on that core strength and feeling more confident in the weight room when performing any exercise. So to achieve these goals, Jersey works out twice a week. On Mondays, we usually meet and work on that lower body and abs. And then on Thursdays, that's when we work on upper body. So as far as baseline fitness assessment, again, we chose the Rockport walk test, again, being an easy way to figure out cardiorespiratory endurance. And she stated that she did prefer to walk and not run. And I also gave her the options of a couple of them during our assessment talk, and she told me that she would prefer to do this one. We move on to muscular endurance. So we did push-ups just because it didn't require as much equipment, and there's just no time limit, and I didn't want her to feel rushed in any way. She had 10 push-ups, which was classified as fair. And then we moved on to curl-ups, and she had 18, classified as very good. So then we moved on to muscular strength, doing the 1 rep leg press machine, and that was used because, again, my client was familiar with the leg press, and that being that she hasn't really lifted weights in a while, and we didn't want to jump straight into a squat machine. So she had a result of 1.13, which classified as below average. And then the last one was the sit and reach test for testing flexibility. And this was just another quick and easy test to test flexibility, and it was equipment that was available at the time. So lastly, I found it much easier to do these assessments in person, but it was challenging when certain equipment wasn't available at the time. So then moving on to the 1-week training program. So again, strength training, 2 to 3 days per week with at least 48 hours separating the exercise training sessions for the same muscle group is recommended for adults. Putting her in intensity at 60 to 70% 1 rep max. For someone who doesn't work out or somewhat exercises this way to improve that strength. No specific duration of training has been identified for effectiveness. And then using a variety of exercise equipment and or body weight used to perform these exercises. As of right now, Jersey and I are training 2 days per week and plan to shift to 3 days per week to improve her muscular fitness. So again, Monday, just having that back and bi. Tuesday, that rest day. Wednesday, lower body, ab workouts. Thursday, that rest day. And then Friday are triceps, shoulders, and chest. And then Saturday and Sundays are off. And lastly, my client, Leah Peterson. So her interests and hobbies include painting, drawing, hiking, and traveling. Overall experience has been good. Leah does a great job focusing on working each of those muscles and pushing herself. Although given the circumstances with COVID-19, we have not been able to continue through our workouts, which has been a struggle. So background, her height is 63.2 inches. Her weight is 137.5 pounds, giving her a body mass index of 24.4, which is normal range. Then we move on to resting blood pressure, 120/64, and then a resting heart rate of 74, both again in the normal ranges. So goals that we discussed were working on that full body muscle strength, as well as being confident in the gym when performing these exercises. So achieving these goals, Leah was showing up to the gym to work on lower body and abs on Monday, and then upper body on Thursdays. Although when Leah did get sick, it has been like a huge barrier in achieving these goals. So during her baseline fitness assessment, there we go, her Rockport walk test was chosen for her cardiorespiratory endurance. Again, she stated she did not like running, and so walking was something that she felt more comfortable doing. She scored a 31.6, which classified as being below average. Then we moved on to muscular endurance. So we did push-ups, being that it required minimal equipment and no time limit. Again, not wanting to make her feel rushed in any way. And she scored a 12, which classified her as fair. And then her curl-ups were 20, and that also classified her as very good. We moved on to her muscular strength. So we did the 1 rep max leg press. This machine was something that she was familiar with, and also being that she hadn't lifted weights in a while, it just was a good way to jump into this one. So she scored a 1.38, which classified her as well above average. And then we ended with flexibility, which we chose the sit and reach. This was just a quick and easy test to do, as well as it being available. So she scored a 38.5, which classified her in the 80th percentile. So then again, with the 1 week training program, and the strength training, 2 to 3 days per week, with at least 48 hours separating the exercise training sessions for the same muscle groups is recommended for adults. Intensity at 60 to 70, 1 rep max for someone who hasn't exercised in a while. No specific duration of training has been identified for effectiveness, and using a variety of exercise equipment such as dumbbells and or body weight used to perform these exercises. Being that she has not worked out in a while, starting off with just body weight, again, starting slow and then working her way into adding weights. So yes, as far as like being that she hasn't exercised, trying to get back into a routine of 2 days per week, and then slowly starting with body weight and then moving into more equipment. So here again on Mondays, we're working on that back and biceps. Tuesday is her rest day. Wednesday is lower body and abs. Then we got Thursday a rest day, and then Friday ending with that tricep, chest, and shoulder workouts. And then Saturday, Sunday rest days.